Welcome to our podcast. My name is Emma. Today I have Kadi Beth.
Yay!
Thank you so much for coming here tonight.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
More than you know. So you're playing guitar, you're singing,
Yes.
and you write your own songs.
Yes, I do write a lot. My boyfriend writes a lot as well. And I've had a couple songs that I've written with some friends, but for the most part, I write my songs by myself.
Lyrics and music.
Yes.
Is it easier for you to write music or lyrics?
Definitely the lyrics. Normally when I write a song with my boyfriend, for example, Jack, I will write all the chords and the lyrics, and then he kind of makes it better.
That's nice.
He goes in there and he'll add the things like maybe like this, like the lead guitar parts, for example. He adds that in there. So I kind of make the skeleton and then he makes it more beautiful.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it's a really cool. And he also is really good at adding the harmonies as well too, things that I don't think of, that can make the song.
When you were young, what made you think that I want to start learning an instrument or I want to start singing?
Yeah, we always sang in my house a lot as a family, just kind of, my dad was really into like classic rock. So we would sing, but it was just fun, And one time my sister was actually in like a Broadway for kids. So she would sing and dance. And she was having trouble with this one song. It was a loud song. You kind of had to sing in your chest voice. And I remember my first memory is telling her, you just have to let go and just go with it and just let it out. And then I would sing it with her. And then I realized, I like this. So then I started to sing in the choir at church. But I've always had people even say this now. I have a loud voice. My voice projects. Sometimes I do softer songs. But I remember it was a Catholic church that I first was singing in, and the priest asked me if I could sing more reverently. Yeah, so I had to rein it in. But yeah, it started, I'd say that first memory was with my sister and just realized, like as a kid, it's fun until you kind of feel yourself kind of light up, and you're like, this is something that I think I have a passion for.
Oh, wow. So what age did you join the choir in the church?
Yeah, I think it was probably 6th grade.
Yes.
And then the next year, our Catholic school started like a rock band.
Yes, I saw that.
I just started kind of singing background vocals, and it was my first time in a band. But it felt super natural to me. I remember that. Like this idea, I think it's also because I have 3 siblings. I grew up in a big family. So I know what it means to share and take turns. And
right.
I think that helped in a band is like, I know everyone has a role. But amazing. Everyone can also have their time to shine when it's their time, And I loved that. I felt so natural in a band I felt so grateful just to be part of it. And at that time, I wasn't great at playing instruments yet. I was just singing. But just singing background vocals and just being a part of something was when I realized that I think this is my thing.
And you also performed on the main stage at the Athens Summer Music Festival, Fest.
Yes, that was crazy. So I grew up in Athens, and Fest was always, it still is, the big music festival. And we somehow got an opportunity to play the main stage. And I mean, we were in middle school.
That's so good.
And everybody else, they were adults. And I mean, it was Saturday, so most people were hungover and not actually there to see like some 12-year-olds on stage.
I love that.
But it was so fun. And that was the first time I sang Heartbreaker by Pat Benatar. Yes. I remember my dad, it was so nice. He took me shopping and I got like a cool new outfit and sunglasses and yeah, so that was the first time I sang lead.
How you felt about that?
I think honestly, so I was probably 13 when I did that. So I was in middle school and I feel like I had more confidence then than I did now. And that's something I've actually been working through because I don't know, something about also just before like the growth of social media and just like, comparing yourself to others, I really felt like I had the support from my parents and the world was just, it was like I could have anything basically. I just felt limitless. So getting on stage felt super natural to me. But now, as I've gotten older, for some reason, you fall into the trap of, I think, comparing yourself to others and thinking about what do I look like, especially getting older, like, what do I need to wear? Does my makeup look okay? And there's just too much that takes away, I think, from the art of getting on stage,
I agree.
And I honestly, I look back at those videos of myself and I'm like, I want to get back to that girl who just felt like she didn't care what anybody thought,
So
it's almost like,
pure.
Yeah, I just felt super confident. And I think I'm getting back there now, but I think also just as you get older and you experience more things,
did you start having thoughts of comparison and stuff like that when you moved to Nashville, or before that? Because Nashville is a place that is a music city of US, so it has a lot of talented people. So sometimes artists can start comparing with each other, and you say, now I'm thinking more about it, and it's something that happened to me when I moved here. I was thinking, oh my God, there's so many talented people, and like, am I enough talented as I thought? You know, like,
I think that is the challenge, is you have to get here and be like, I believe in myself and I'm going to do what I do. Because when you fall into the trap of what's working for others, should I do that? Then we lose the originality, which is the right art. So I'm proud to say that I don't think my music has ever changed, but definitely the image. You get caught up in, how can I look different? How can I create a brand? And I think sometimes for me, I struggle with that because I see other people, people like Sabrina Carpenter or Chappell Roan that have a brand. They have an image. When you think of them, you think of what they're wearing. And for me, I struggle with that because I change my mind on what I want to wear every day, and I don't want to be put into a box. So yeah, I'm still working through that. Like, what does that mean for me? How can I still be original but be recognizable?
So I'll go back to when you were in the middle school.
Yeah.
And then you created your second band.
Yeah.
Zenith Blue. You started writing your own songs.
Yeah.
So it is important because you started writing your own songs for the first time. So you were a performer and writing the songs for that band. What inspired you starting writing songs by the time when you were 15?
Yeah, I think definitely when I was 15, so I probably had like my first love. So I felt the heartbreak, and that actually was the first song I wrote, though. I started realizing that I was kind of the weird kid growing up. I was always very observant. I was always wondering about like the meaning of life and what are we doing, and is everyone using their gifts? I am still weird. But I think that caused me I would take a step back in the room and be observing, looking at everything and trying to piece it together. So a lot of my first songs are literally about finding your path in life. Like probably the first song I wrote, I think is called like One Way Road, and saying that basically like if you just stay on your path and you do what you're meant to do, then you'll get there, kind of. And then, I think it was nerve-wracking because when I brought those intimate songs it was all boys in the band. I would say, hey, I wrote this song, and I think they were like, well, what does that mean? Is that going to be fun? So I had to learn to make songs fun to play and still get through my, I guess, kind of observations of life, if that makes sense.
You wrote it somewhere that you're trying to pass messages through your songs, but starting doing from such a young age is amazing. I mean,
honestly, the weirdest thing is some of my songs I listen to now, and they like send me messages. That's when I learned to just share. I just started sharing what was on my mind immediately, and ever since then, I think I kind of opened this door of like, some people call it channeling, where you're just kind of
channeling.
Yeah, where you're kind of, sometimes I sit down and the whole words come to me just all at once.
I'm the same way.
Really?
Yes. It might be a period of time that I don't write anything.
Right? Yeah.
And then,
but you can't force it.
Yes, I cannot force it. And then I will sit in bed ready to go to sleep.
Yeah.
And then it's there, and I wake up in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Like a crazy person. I'm like, I need to write that song down.
You know what's so weird? I'm like a nerd about this, and I'm not a scientist, but right before you go to bed, did you know like you're in your like alpha brain state?
Yes.
Yeah. Or like right when you wake up, or when you're like driving or in the shower. So I love that too. I like thrive in those. I'm like, okay, well, if I get in a long car ride, we'll pull up just some backing tracks on Spotify and then just write.
Yes.
That's so cool that you do that too. I truly believe that there are people on this earth with that gift. It just flows through them. Well, I think some people do that, but then they look at the words and they try to nitpick it, and I just wish people would just put it out there. Because I really believe it's coming to you for a reason. I feel like we're vessels, and so it's coming to you, and with your beautiful voice and maybe just your instruments, you're channeling it, and it should be. Of course, I think sometimes you have to finish it. Like I will write a verse and chorus, and then I'm like, then I come back to it, and I'm like, okay, I need to write a second verse,
True.
But I feel like more people should really cherish that gift of it just coming to them.
Yes, and I feel like this moment you're kind of in a different planet. Not planet, but
I feel that way too.
Oh, there you are.
Oh, bingo.
There you are. In a different word. I don't know how to say it exactly.
Yeah, I feel that way too. It's like, it's indescribable. It's almost like Yeah, even sometimes if I'm playing with Jack, close my eyes and then I think he's like, "Are you back? Like, where are you?" Because I'm just closing my eyes and I'm just feeling it. I'm just immersed in it. And then words just start flowing. And then you come back and you're like, "Oh, back in my body."
Yes. So which song that you wrote felt like that? That it was like you were in a different world and you wrote the fastest?
Probably Deep Blue Sea.
Deep Blue Sea.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a
I've
song.
heard that. It's so good.
Thanks. Yeah. What's funny about it is when I wrote it, I thought, oh, I can't put that out because I thought that's not my sound. I always considered myself more of a rock singer. But then I decided, you know what? I'm just going to do it because I really believe, like I said, it came to me all at once. And I'm like, someone needs to hear this, I guess, because it came to me.
Exactly.
But to be fair, it was my first winter in Nashville. I suffer from seasonal depression here when it is very cloudy.
Like everybody.
Yeah,
I'm
it
the
is.
same.
No one talks about how tough the winters are here.
It's tough.
It's very tough to really have a sunny outlook on life when it is cloudy every day, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But I think it was just weeks and weeks of that, and then it was just kind of building up, and then I just picked up the guitar, and all at once the entire song came out.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's like, wow, you feel so grateful for those opportunities. But now I look back at it, and the song for me was also a little bit different. It was about the fact that a couple of years had gone by, and I felt that I was kind of rushing through life and not sinking deep into my emotions. That's what the song means to me. Is like, I think every once in a while I need to come down from flying and sit and feel my emotions.
I'm coming on back to shore. Fly so high, always wanted more. I don't swim in the depths of the deep blue sea, 'cause it looks so dark and I won't be able to see. Oh mayday, there's no gas left in this plane, and I know you told me to fill up, but what can I say? I'm looking for miles, I don't see a place to land. I think I'll let it, or let me fall in the depths of the deep blue sea. And when you call, that's where you'll find me, down in the depths of the deep blue sea. And it's so dark that I can't even see, stuck with myself and all my memories, down in the depths of the deep blue sea.
So you're going from Athens to University of Georgia,
Mm-hmm.
and you're studying international affairs.
Mm-hmm.
How you picked that, and
Yeah.
what exactly is about?
Yeah. Honestly, now it's funny you ask that because I think I've just realized why I chose that major. And I was lucky in college because I chose it and I stuck with it. I think I've always loved understanding people. I've always loved languages. And so international affairs was a study in that where I could get a degree in just my natural interest, you know?
Yes.
So we learned a lot about political systems in different countries. Those were interesting, but it was very strictly just like voting systems and how the governments are structured. But then we also got into geopolitics and cultural studies. So maybe why certain countries went to war, or just more about their belief systems.
Wow.
And it was so interesting. Just a lot of countries that, you know, we just don't really hear about, or we might have opinions that we receive based on the news, but when you really read and you take it from an unbiased perspective and you look at a country's history, and you just start to realize like why they are the way that they are, for example. And I loved that, and then combined with learning the languages. So I minored in Russian and Arabic, and I loved learning about the culture of Russia and the different culture of the Middle East and a lot of countries that speak Arabic. And then just the change in dialect based on countries is so interesting to me.
Wow.
Yeah, and the Arabic too, I don't speak that language very well, but that language is so fascinating to me because it has kind of hints on how to say the words. You know, it gives like little, I forget what they're called, but it gives them like little ticks above and below the letters to let you know if it's going to be a short vowel or a long vowel. And I think that's so helpful. Because once you know that, you'll know how to say the word.
Yes.
So I just got super interested in it was just different. Everything was so different to me. And I was lucky to have super passionate professors, a lot of them from those countries, and then sharing with us their culture and their language. Even now, my heart just lights up. I just love it. I could just like watch videos about it all day.
I love that.
Thanks.
So you speak Arabic, Russian, Spanish,
Mm-hmm.
Mandarin.
A little
No,
bit of Mandarin.
little bit Mandarin.
Yeah, I took that my last year. And Portuguese.
You wrote a song in Portuguese.
Yes.
The serial lover.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what was your inspiration to learn, and what made you like write a song in a different language? I know it is very hard because when I try to write songs in English, because my first songs were in Greek, it was really hard and I struggled. But now it's a little bit better. So, what gave you that inspiration?
So I write in a lot of metaphors, and I don't really talk about storylines. I talk about feelings and kind of like release of emotions. But I have noticed about myself that I use metaphors, and I wonder if it's because I'm scared to really tell the real truth, you know? So I do that. Now, I love metaphors, but I try to use a mix of that, but also, one, make sure that the listener can understand what I'm saying, but also try to be a little bit more transparent. It's funny, though, because when I'm just channeling, I guess, or singing, what comes to me, it still is metaphors. You know, like, for example, it's like deep blue sea is like, I'll fall to the depths of deep blue sea, and I don't think people realize by that I mean tapping into your emotions, you know? But because I could have just said I'll fall into my emotions. So with Serial Lover, I think I found kind of another, I guess, way to get out my feelings, but in a different language. So in that, I was learning Portuguese at the time, and I knew Spanish, and then I dated a Brazilian, and so I learned.
Ooh, okay, yeah, that's an inspiration.
Yeah, that's an inspiration. He didn't speak English when I met him, actually, so it was great. It was so fun, and most people would be like, "Yeah, that must be hard," and I was like, "No, it was so fun to learn the language."
Wow.
But I also was inspired by, I don't know if you've ever seen this. It used to be like, remember those like lollipops that have like Tootsie Rolls inside, and the little owl says like, "How many licks will it take to get to the bottom of a Tootsie Pop?"
I don't remember the ad because I was not in America.
Okay, yeah.
But we had lollipops like that.
Okay.
Yes.
So there was this thing, it was like an owl, and he would say like, how many licks does it take to get to, if you were just like licking it? And I liked that concept, but with a relationship. And so I thought of how many girls, because the song is about a man that's a serial lover, how many girls will it take to stop you, to break your mold? Basically, is the analogy that I took.
That's amazing.
I've never told anybody that, actually.
That's amazing how you connect those two things.
Yeah, it's not actually about my Brazilian boyfriend. That guy is great. But if he's ever listening, he's great. We're friends. But it was about a different guy later that I felt was just kind of dating multiple women and didn't really know what he wanted. And so I thought, who's going to break you? It's funny, though, what's actually interesting about the song is I spoke with one of my Brazilian friends later, and I said, hey, can you look through these lyrics? After I'd already released the song, I said, can you make sure that everything's okay? And the funny thing she told me was that the song is called Serial Lover, Amante de Série. So I thought. But really, what the translation really means, Amante de Série, my Brazilian friend told me, is that it kind of means more like you love TV series. So, you know, people are like, wow, you wrote a song in Portuguese. And I'm like, yeah, well, I tried. I really tried.
Yeah, but that's amazing.
But yeah, so the title of the song is a little off.
Wait, can you say some Portuguese phrases again from that song?
Yeah, I can say. So it starts off like, não me deixa louca neste mundo sozinha. Don't leave me alone in this world. Sem pessoa com quem eu posso confiar. Without a person in which I can trust.
Wow.
Não me deixa louca neste mundo sozinha. Sem pessoa com quem eu posso fazer o que eu quero. It's like, don't leave me alone in this world without someone that I can do the things I want to. Finalmente tenho mente para fazer minhas coisas próprias. Finally, I have the mind to do my own things. Eu te juro que and now I'm telling you that I can help you, you know, if you just let me know that you need help. So basically it's saying that, like, I think sometimes as women, we're maybe a little bit quicker to open up, right?
Yes,
when we find a partner. But I think for men, it's harder. And so they're might be in a relationship with you. It takes a long time to peel back the layers of the onion and, like, let me really see you. Like, what are your fears? You know, what are you scared of doing? And for men, they don't want to talk about their feelings. Not all of them, but it's just, there's a stigma around it, right?
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
So then it kind of goes back to, like, I think I have dated men in the past that didn't feel ready to open up to me about their fears and insecurities, and that led them to go back to their old ways.
Oh.
You know, so then it kind of goes back to how many girls is it going to take to stop you from repeating this pattern, basically. It's kind of what the song is. ¿Cuántas meninas levará para você?
I'll tell you, it has non-stop.
Yeah, right?
It's forever.
Yeah. No, that's probably true, though.
Because it's the personality, I feel, maybe.
Yeah.
But the hard part with that is, like, you're ready to settle down.
Yeah.
And then you say, why? You put me in the situation that I have also to continue.
Yeah.
And you're like, I don't want to do it. I just want to be with you.
I do think like people struggle with that is they think if I'm ready, then you should be ready to their partner.
Yes.
But I think sometimes people's timelines just don't match up. And
Yes.
if someone's not ready, then you can't force them to be ready. You can't force someone to want only you. And that sucks. It's such a terrible thing, but it's also kind of humbling because it's kind of realizing like, you know what? Maybe I'm not this person's person, but someone else will love me and want me at this time that I want. I truly believe everyone has that.
Yes. So how long you're in Nashville? How many years?
I've been here since 2022, so going on about 3 years.
So you finished your university and then you moved here.
So when I was in college, and my third band was called Cadillac, kind of based off my name actually, like Kadi is in the name of the band.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I met some super talented musicians in that group. We had the best time. And a lot of the songs I would bring to them, it would be very simple though. It would be just like me showing them just a couple chords and lyrics, and then it would transform. So it was a little bit more collaborative. Okay. In those songs, but it was still very fun. I loved that idea of like, okay, I'll bring the idea and then everyone gives feedback. Where do we think the song should go? And I love that feeling when you're in a room and like, sometimes we would even turn the lights off and just like, let just the, creative vibes come to us. And it was so cool. We had a good balance in that group too, because we had a great lead guitarist, a bass player that could sing any harmonies, and a great drummer. We had fun with that. And then I decided after that I wanted to move to Nashville, and they were in places where they couldn't move. So we had to break up, and I moved here to become kind of solo and do. Yes. Because I think also there were definitely times, that I would bring songs to the group and they thought that it didn't fit the vibe of the group, which is totally fine. But then I decided that, I think I really want to explore all of these songs that are in me and give them a chance.
It's a big change. Because till then you were always in bands, and I had the same issue. Like I was in a band, and then I did solo because I like freedom. Yeah, as you mentioned.
Yeah, really.
I'm a very free person. Like I want to do my own thing. But from the other hand, I feel like you also are a very like person who wants to be in a team. So is it hard to be solo? Like I know it's good that you have the freedom, but also you're not in the team, so it's also hard to motivate yourself. Yes. Do you have those issues or?
Oh my gosh, yes.
I know.
It's so hard to motivate myself. But here's the thing: is I think the reason why I like being solo is that it's basically like you're the boss of your songs. Exactly. So because I know it's going to be a Kadi Beth song, then when people give me their ideas, I can take it or leave it. I have the freedom now to say like I like that or I don't like it. But I will say that when I try to do songs completely on my own, I know they're not going to be as good as if I get someone else's opinion. I get chills literally down my spine when, like my boyfriend, for example, if I just say, hey, what would you do here differently? Maybe with the chords, or how would you make it more interesting? Or what would you do as a harmony for the vocals? And it's always, every single time makes it better. So then I started to learn that maybe this trick is here is I just need to find my people that I really vibe with, and then we'll split the songwriting credits, on the songs. Yeah. So I think for here, it's that there's a lot of people here, so I just find my people. I will say I still am pretty picky though. Yeah, I think honestly now I've realized that I'm very, very selective about my time and what I use my time on, even with people and activities. I'm very selective. So before, I think the main reason why I quit the job was that I realized so much of my time and energy was going towards something that it was leaving me feeling very drained and stressed and not fulfilled. So I quit that to do more music. Now I took a break, and when I do music all of the time, I honestly still feel like there's a little part that's missing. And I think maybe part of it is that I like to try to find ways to give back, so a balance of giving back to the community and music. But it's tough because volunteering, you don't always get paid to do. So now I'm kind of on a quest to find how can I get paid to do what I love, like Ikigai, if you've ever heard of that. It's like a concept where find something that you're good at, that you love, that the world needs, and that you can get paid doing.
It's funny that you talked about it because I do volunteer for a project that called Ikigai.
Really?
Yes.
That's so crazy. That's crazy. Yeah. So I feel like now I've been tutoring a little bit. So I tutor in Spanish, Portuguese, and public speaking a little bit. And I like it. I like the people that I get to meet. Often I'll find someone that I really vibe with, and I'm like, wow, this was just destined for us to meet, and I like their relationship. So I'm trying to find just more of that where I can be spending my time doing that. And also just like languages. I miss using my languages, I guess.
Yes.
So, and it's been tough. Like the winter time, I get very hermit mode, and I'm trying to come out and be more social. So yeah, I'm trying to find a balance of where I can use my time so that I'll always be fulfilled, which I don't know if
Yes.
anybody's figured that out yet, but I just always want to feel energized, you
True.
know?
Me too, but you cannot feel always energized
I
or
know.
always happy. And I did have a question at the past. I was like, I want to be happy all the time. Why I'm not happy all the time? And somebody answered to me, there's not a happy life. There are happy moments, right? So the moment you realize that, I think is the moment you understand the reality of it. Like you cannot be always energetic or always happy. And
That's true, yeah.
it's going to be some good moments and some bad moments.
Yeah.
Like they say the piano has white and black. So you need both to create music, right? Yeah.
I love that. Yeah,
Yes.
that's so true. I often think about that too. Like when I was back in Georgia in my home state and seeing the mountains, and I thought like, how beautiful is it that we get to see mountains from a distance? Because it kind of means that we know that peaks exist. Like we know that the outcome is there that we want, but we also have the valleys to go through. And the valleys make us realize even more and appreciate the mountains because they're the opposite, you know, the highs and the
Yes.
lows. So you're right. I remind myself all the time, like when you're in those moments, especially when I'm in a moment where I don't have clarity. Right now, I
Yes.
honestly feel like a little bit of a moment where I'm kind of like, I'm looking for a new direction kind of, and where I want to spend my time. And I think times like that are great because we don't know what else the body's doing. I'm probably processing millions of emotions, you know,
Right.
that I needed to do. And then clarity will come and I'll know my next step, you know?
Right. So you said you're also helping people with public speaking,
Yeah.
which is for some people is really terrifying.
Yeah.
Do you think like you can also help artists how to represent themselves on the stage? Because that's also a lot of artists struggle with. They're very talented, very good singers or a very good musician, but they're terrified to go on the stage and perform. A lot of people have this issue.
Yeah.
Do you think that those two connect?
I do. I feel like my mission right now is, of course, like you said, you get on stage and you might need to introduce yourself. Or maybe if someone asks you why you wrote a song or they ask a question, you need to know how to answer. But I honestly feel like we live in a world where we try to make people be someone that they're not. And I'm more for being yourself. So if you are that awkward person on stage, be a little awkward. People are going to like that. Just be yourself, be a little bit awkward. And if someone asks you, you know, what the song is about, you can give them the long answer, you can give them the short answer. I think it really is, like you said, just being confident and being yourself. There's a balance, of course. You know, if you're at a writer's round and you want to introduce your song, you need to be cognizant of the time. You know,
Right.
you couldn't go on for hours and babble like I probably would. But I think there's a balance as you just realize before, maybe practice, I think makes perfect too. And just think about what you want to say about your songs. But my biggest thing is I see a lot of people say like, oh, but I want to be like this person, or I want to have this clarity, or I want to have this confidence. And I think that's great and you'll get there. But I just wish more people would be their quirky selves, be your weird self. We need more of that authenticity of just getting on stage and being weird. I mean,
Wow.
yeah.
I love that.
Thanks.
Yes, I need to be weird as like so,
Yeah,
but
just be-
the full personality instead
Yeah.
of pretending I'm somebody else.
Yeah. And I think, I mean, not to say people do that. I think a lot of times nerves get to us, all of us. Nerves even get to me. And then you might maybe try to crack a joke on stage and it doesn't go well. But I think the thing is that that's okay.
That's okay.
It doesn't matter. Maybe next time, you know, you can try to do that. But also realize, are you trying to make a joke just because everyone else is? You know, do you normally do that? I just tell people like, how would you introduce the song to your best friend? Just act like you're talking to them, you
Right.
know, like on stage. And then I think it should be better.
Awesome. I
Mhm.
love it. So you're here 3 years in Nashville. What are your feelings for Nashville so far?
I have a lot of mixed emotions, to be honest. It kind of goes back to what I said about public speaking. I do wish a lot more people here would do the music that naturally comes to them. I think some people get caught up to wanting to make their music sound more commercial and market it, and then they end up changing their art. That works for some people. You know, you can get a publishing deal and be a songwriter for someone else. But I do think there's a lot of people here that have their own art, and they might think they post a TikTok or a video and, oh no, they posted one video and nobody likes it, so I need to change my whole genre. I really wish people would just realize that maybe those people that watched your video didn't like it, but your gift, someone will resonate with it. I totally believe that. Everyone's own genre has an audience. I do think some people try to gravitate to more of the commercial, which could be country. There are a lot of talented people here. I think just like any other big city, you have to find your crowd, the people that you resonate with, and it could be in your genre or out of your genre, you know?
True.
We talked about this earlier. It's like I don't really put myself in a genre. I just like people. Like I vibe with certain people, and then you never know. You might put us in a room together and we make a cool song and we don't even know what genre it is now, you know? But it doesn't matter. So I think that's definitely here. There is a lot of competition, like we talked about kind of during the break.
Yes.
I think it can be hard, like kind of going back is like you have to really believe in yourself. You have to really believe in your weirdness and your quirkiness and your gift and really go for it. And that might mean that you might not find success for a while. Maybe you do have to like pick up some other part-time work, but at least you're being true to yourself. You know, I think that is really important. I think we need more people just to be their authentic, weird selves and then just keep doing it and be consistent about it. And I think that sometimes I just want to have like, I want to bring everyone in Nashville together and just say for everyone, and even myself, is like, yes, a lot of us came here to pursue music, but maybe the end goal is not you maybe in an arena touring the world. Maybe it's the people that you meet here that you're going to make a positive impact on. Maybe you're going to save someone's life here. You know, you never know why you were brought here because through the medium of music. I think it's the reason we're brought here, but it might not be the outcome. And I think if people are more just accepting of, let me just see what happens, then amazing things might happen, even better than you imagine.
True.
Yeah.
True. So do you have a song that you love more than the others?
I'd say Deep Blue Sea that's out is one of my favorite songs. Yona is another song I like because I worked with a really cool group and we did a music video on top of Yona Mountain, which was cool. And the song changes meaning, honestly, every time I listen to it. But for me, the chorus says, I'm going to set it all ablaze and run like a wildfire raining on your pretty parade. The song basically means whatever you thought you had planned, I'm going to, or the universe is going to like rip it all apart, but it's going to be much better than what you thought.
Yes.
So it's a reminder for me to not be so laser focused on things. Don't try to control my life. Just flow and let things come to me. And if things don't work, if relationships end, then that's how it's just meant to be. I try my hardest. I'm not perfect at it, but I'm trying to just be calm and just flow.
The song won the best music video at New York City, the National Film Festival.
Yes, yeah.
How this happened?
That was so cool. Yeah, I think it has 6 awards total now.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you
I
so
love
much.
it.
Thanks.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
Yes, and you're going to play that song later.
Yes.
I asked you that.
Yes, we're going to play it.
So how did you feel when your video got awarded?
It was crazy, honestly. I think that moment, when I planned the music video, I have a really great friend group that helped me too. We had to wake up. We had to leave here at like 6 a.m., drive to Georgia. We had to hike up the mountain, like an hour-and-a-half hike while we're filming the video. And Bailey, my friend, and I, we were wearing makeup, so we had to like dab, make sure we weren't sweating, get to the top. It was super windy. I had to change in like a portable wardrobe thing, change, and it was blowing everywhere. Then we had to record on top and then walk back down. But I'm telling you, that mountain, I encourage everyone to go there. There's something very spiritual about it. Even my friend said it.
I have to go.
Yes, I've always been drawn to it. I've gone before, and when I actually wrote the song, I wrote it after a trip, a hike there. But when I brought my friends, and I didn't tell them, like, hey, this is spiritual, they all, after we recorded, we stopped, and they said, something is really powerful here. There is something there that is. I think it's also just, when you're in the hustle and bustle of Nashville, and then you take a break to go sit on top of a mountain, you kind of remind your mind, like I said before, like the possibilities of reaching your goals. And when you go on a hike, I think there is something very beautiful in that metaphor of reaching the top and reminding yourself that what it looks like to see everything already laid out.
Yes.
You know? And so I think we all kind of took a moment to take that all in. But I honestly think when you collaborate, there was something beautiful about the collaboration of that video that when I submitted it, I wasn't expecting it, honestly, to win. But I do think that people realized that we just created something that was beautiful to look at, and also the metaphor of it. In the video, I am wearing a blindfold and I'm handed a map, and it kind of talks about we walk into this life and immediately we almost put blinders on, and people hand us a map of how they think we should live our life.
We took the long way to Yona with all this weight on my shoulders. Using the trees to make it back in the night. No, no, I don't know if I could make it in the light. Maybe someday you'll understand. Maybe someday you'll see my plan. I'm gonna set it soul ablaze today and run like a wildfire. I'm raining on your pretty parade, and when it all comes down on me, I remember Yona. You're standing over the city. I remember Yona when I could see so clearly.
Yeah, like we come into this world with little ideas and our gifts, but then we get told, oh, you'll never be good at that, or oh, you're not good at that, and then that becomes our map, as we become someone else's on someone else's journey. And then when we finally get to the top, when we finally throw away the map and we throw away the baggage, that's why I'm wearing a book bag in the video, when we throw away this heavy weight we've been carrying and we just listen to the sound, like what's calling us, then we get to the top and we realize at the top how beautiful it feels to be not only free, but also we got there ourselves. And then you can kind of see when you're there that this is what life is about. It's not following someone else's idea of success or strategies, how to do this, how to get famous in 90 days, whatever, like just whatever they're doing nowadays on TikTok. But, you know, now just like following yourself. But then at the end, if you notice at the end of the video, I put the blindfold back on because it's kind of an analogy to that. Once you get to that point where some people call it breaking out of the matrix,
Yes.
when you realize that this idea of success, or even like the way we live in America, like this work focused kind of society, is not the way to live, you're going to have to put your blindfold back on with certain people if you want to maintain friendships, because they just might not agree with you, you know? So the blindfold at the end is kind of a symbol of saying that once you know how to take it off, you might still have to put it back on sometimes to be in this society. Because I have a lot of people tell me, like, I like to say a lot, you know, do what you love. And people say, but in this economy, you need to, you know, work a job. And I say, okay, yeah, that's true. You know, so put the blindfold on for the job. But then when you're not working the job, use your gifts and try to be the person you're meant to be in this world.
True. Wow. I love that your songs have a meaning and you try to pass messages through your songs. And that's above music, you know, because you're a very talented musician, but you also use your talent to give messages to people. So you are in the music city, Nashville. A lot of people and a lot of artists are dreaming to be here. What will be an advice you will give even to your younger self when you came in here, or to somebody who wants to come here?
Yeah, I would definitely say think about it first before you move. People that are successful here are often songwriters for other people, or they own studios, they're producers. So the people that want to be their own artists, if you decide that you want to move here, I would tell people to follow your heart. You might get pulled into all these, oh, I'll produce this song for you, I'll do this music video for you. People poach you kind of because you're a newcomer. I think you have to learn to have discernment and know when to say no, but also say no to things that are not right for you. I think people feel it in their heart and just know that I had to learn the hard way with myself, kind of getting here and getting approached by people and doing things. The good thing is you do it one time, maybe you waste a little bit of money, overpaid for something, but then you learn from that. So I would say, like, you know, you can't tell someone how to live their lives. They're going to make mistakes and learn from it.
Right.
But I would definitely say to follow your heart, because you might get into the crowd that is trying to be someone that they're not, you know, and trying to just be marketable or be super sexy and just want fame and fandom. And then you find the pockets of people that really just want to play music and they just want to jam. And I would say to find those people.
Right.
Yeah, that just want to jam and they just love music for what it is. And yeah, maybe every once in a while they release a song and they go through the whole shebang. But yeah, I think people should find their people.
Yes, that's the most important, to find people you connect with.
Yeah.
And support each other. So I will have your links down the video so that you can hear the video and like subscribe on the YouTube channel and your Instagram and all your platforms. And then you also have a website where you have your music and everything. When I went to your website, it was very interesting for me that I saw that you have diaries. And like that's my, because I loved it. I said, wait, this person actually writes also stories.
Yeah,
You can even write
probably
a book. Right?
I did actually write a book.
Oh,
That's so funny you said that. Yeah,
How I missed that.
yeah. No, it's not on there right now. It's like my family is letting everyone look at it in the world, but it's like a fantasy novel. But it's literally about what's so funny.
I love it.
You know how we said like our songs, like you sometimes channel them and they become a message. So listen, get this. This is kind of freaking me out. I wrote this like whole book. It's like almost 300 pages, and I realized like it's literally a message back to me. The whole premise is a fantasy novel about these people that have these like stones that light up when they do like what they're meant to do in this world. And so the whole point is to like try to keep your stones lit, and and they figure out how to like use like sound frequencies and things. It's a story, but then I kind of realized it's been motivating me because I'm like I really need to make sure I'm doing like what lights me up, and I think other people need to focus on that as well. So yeah, it's called The Mosaic. So right now I think my dad's looking at it now, so he's gonna review it and give me some feedback, and I'll have to make edits. But yeah, I'm glad you saw the diary because I just write a lot. I need to add more, but I just thought maybe somebody will like to listen to my crazy thoughts. I don't know.
I've seen a lot of artists doing it,
Oh, cool.
like from Greece, for example.
Yeah.
And an artist from Greece, like she's a singer-songwriter, she does like podcasts of her diaries.
Wow.
So she records them and people following and listening to her stories. Like this is really interesting.
That's so cool. I should
But
do that.
I don't know if I have other questions because we covered almost
know.
everything.
I think
Is
we
it
all
anything
covered
else I didn't ask or you didn't say?
I think we've really covered everything.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. Now
Thanks
we're
for
gonna
having me.
bring the microphone and we're gonna sing some songs that
Yay.
you wrote.
Yay, I'm so excited.
You will pick, and if you want, I can play with you guitar. I'll just jump for the first time. And thank you so much
Thank you for having me.
being here and for coming.
Thanks
Let's
for
see
having
now
me.
how great voice you have.
Okay, let's see.
Okay.
All right.
We're back with our guitars.
We're back with our guitars. Focus.
Yes, I love it. I love it. We said we put the microphone on. We have our guitars, and I forgot to give you this necklace. I wear one, and that's pigs. So
Oh
it
my
has pigs. So you can
God.
always have pigs. That has my logo on it. It's my artist logo, and
That's
I wanted
awesome.
to give you as a gift. So I said I want to do my own pigs with my logo, and then I found
I love it.
necklaces. I said, that's awesome. I'll never forget.
That's so smart. I love it.
Yes. So it's
Thank
a
you
gift.
so much.
Of course, it's a
Oh my
gift
God,
for
I
you
love
coming here.
Thank you. That's so sweet.
Yes. It looks good. So, what is the first song we're playing?
Okay, the first song you're gonna play with me is "Gone." So it's kind of about comparing a romantic relationship to the seasons of life. So you might be in one season and someone else is in a different one.
Okay, let's go and maybe I have questions after the
Okay,
song. I
sweet.
have the lyrics.
Alright, it's pretty simple. It's just these 3 chords. Yeah.
Perfect.
Alright,
Yeah.
jump right into it.
Summer rain, the way you say my name, the way you're looking out the window. Spring flowers, you go sour, you say you wanna stop without them. God, this is the way I found you. God, this is the way I found you. Fall leaves swinging through the trees, I really could have sworn I saw you. Winter snow, I wanna blow all of these memories out into the fireside where it feels so right. Having you right there above my side, into the fireside we down, the walls down, well I can see it all there. This is the way I found you. God, this is the way I found you. God, God, nobody
so where's the next one?
Should we do Yona next?
Yeah, whatever you want. Yona. I love that song.
Okay, I'll start.
We took the long way to Yona, with all this weight on my shoulders. Reaching the trees to make it back in the night. No, I don't know if I can make it